We've got breaking news as Joe Schoen has signed a punt returner to this team. And thank the Lord, because he put Darius Slayton out there yesterday, who had never returned a punt in his NFL career. And, of course, he muffed it. We'll break down the signing of the punt returner. We've also got major injury updates on Darius Slayton, Carter Coughlin, and other players on this team. But first, make sure you are subscribed to Giants Now by Chat Sports. We put out free, informative, entertaining updates multiple times a day, and we are in a sub-battle for Week 2 against the Commanders Report, hosted by Jack Sperry, and he said there is no way that we could pick up more subscribers in the Commanders Report this week. So if you love the Giants, subscribe to the channel, and if you're already subscribed, hit that thumbs up icon. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green, with major injury news surrounding Gunner Olszewski, as well as other players on this team. The Giants have gone out and signed a punt returner because yesterday, Darius Slayton was called upon to return punts, and he has never done it in his career. It was almost like, Gunner got hurt during pregame warmups. Daboll stood before the locker room and said, "Who wants to return punts today?" Like it was Little League football. No more, though, as Ihmir Smith-Marsette has put pen to paper to join the New York Giants. A New Jersey local guy, the 25-year-old from Newark, New Jersey. He was a fifth-round pick out of Iowa back in the 2021 NFL draft by the Minnesota Vikings. And even though they just beat our butts yesterday, I was talking to my guy Patrick Seatman, host of the Vikings channel here at Chat Sports, and he was telling me he was pumped up about the pick, and he had some big-time games in college. He's played for the Panthers, Chiefs, Bears, and Vikings. Most recently spent time with the Carolina Panthers. This is going to be a guy that's going to come in and help you in the punt return department. Through 33 NFL games, he has just 14 catches for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not stats that I'm going to scoff at or anything like that, but I'm going to understand and go into this with the mindset that you're probably not going to see Smith-Marsette on the football field that much when it comes to offensive snaps. Where he is going to make his coin with the New York Giants is returning punts. And all I ask, just don't fumble. I don't even care if you catch it. Let it roll through the end zone. Fair catch it. It doesn't matter. Just make sure you catch it. Last year for the Carolina Panthers, he had 37 punt returns, 322 yards, 8.7 yards per return, and a touchdown, a 78-yarder against the Chicago Bears. I did also see that he muffed 2 punts. I was not able to find out if he lost those fumbles, but of the 37 punt returns, he did muff 2. Don't love it, but you know what? I'll take it better than 1 of 1 for Darius Slayton. This was very much needed for this football team. I mean, Gunner Olszewski was already dealing with an injury heading into the season, and then he re-aggravated another injury in pregame warmups. They are calling it a groin injury, and he is expected to miss multiple weeks. Brian Daboll actually just went out and said, Gunner will be out weeks. That was a very weird way for him to say it, but that's what he said. Look, putting Darius Slayton back there was a joke, because yesterday was his first time returning punts in the NFL, and, of course, he fumbled. You would think the team that in 2022 saw Richie James fumble 2 punts, then Adoree Jackson sprain his knee, forcing him to miss 8 games, then drafting Eric Gray, who never returned punts, to put him back there to return punt and then fumble. And he put Sterling Shepard back there to return a punt, and he fumbled. You'd think that team that's gone through returner after returner would have been more prepared for Week 1. But you know what? It's the New York Football Giants, and I'm going with the approach of I am laughing to hide the pain and to try to convince myself that it is just A-okay. This team, they make some funny decisions, man. They make some funny decisions. Cordell Flott, all summer long, trains as an outside corner. Week 1, he plays in the slot. Jaylen Hyatt's going to be a big part of our offense. We're going to be explosive. They operate out of 12 personnel, and Hyatt plays 16 snaps this year. Isaiah Simmons, the money backer, going to have this new role for him. 0 snaps played in Week 1. It's almost like when you signed Jermaine Illuminor to be your left guard after he was a right tackle, then you move him from left guard to right tackle after Evan Neal's unable to play. We told you that he wouldn't be ready to play in training camp. Another conversation for another day. I can't go down that road. But I do want to say, shout out to Ihmir Smith-Marsette. Welcome to the New York Football Giants. This was once a great organization, and I'm hoping you can experience that. Type some ISMs in the chat, the initials for our guy, Ihmir Smith-Marsette. Just catch the rock, get north and south. I don't even care if you get yards after the return. Just catch it and go down and get the ball to the offense. Welcome to the squad. We appreciate you. Show them some love. Coming up next, we have some injury updates on Darius Slayton. An injury popped up that we did not hear about. Carter Coughlin, also some bad injury news for him. And we already told you, Gunner Olszewski, he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. The Giants also added someone to the practice squad. We'll break that down. But first, I got to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, Game Time. If you're looking for last-minute tickets, if you're looking for last-minute tickets to a Giants game this year for the lowest price guaranteed, because we all know you don't need to spend more money on the Giants than you have to. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and save yourself $20 by using the promo code ChatSports. That's right. When you use the promo code ChatSports, you're going to get $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. The only ticketing app I use these days is Game Time because of all the different features they have to make it easy on their customers. Like you get to see your seat view from in the app. You get to access your tickets from your phone. And if maybe you don't want to go to the game or the event or the concert or whatever it is after you buy tickets, it's really easy to resell them. Last-minute tickets and flash deals. Prices actually drop as the event gets closer, and the app makes sure you get the best price guaranteed. Two features that you need to make sure you use. The Game Time picks. The app will filter out pretty much the way your app looks to show you only games and events to your favorite artists, bands, and teams. So if you're a Giants fan, if you're a Knicks fan, you could filter the app out to where you only get to see your favorite tickets. That way, favorite games, favorite teams to get tickets to those games. That way it's super easy to go watch your favorite team play. Also, that all-in pricing feature. Make sure you have that on. So the price you see is the price you pay. No one likes getting to checkout and you're getting smacked upside the head with all of these hidden fees. We're not about that. Make sure you are hooked up and save $20 off your first purchase with that promo code ChatSports. So 1, download the account. 2, download the app. 2, create an account. 3, use the promo code ChatSports, CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase where terms do apply. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's show. Something that kind of flew under the radar yesterday and was talked about by Brian Daboll when he got in front of the media was Darius Slayton suffered a concussion versus the Minnesota Vikings, and he is currently in concussion protocol for the New York Giants, which I think it's safe to say his game day status for week 2 against the Washington Commanders is in jeopardy. I'm not even sure when this happened with Darius Slayton. I was trying to go back and find it in film, but I couldn't figure it out, and I reached out to some people, and they don't even know when it happened. But he is in concussion protocol. Hopefully he's all right. Hopefully it is a speedy recovery because the Giants are pretty dang thin at the wide receiver position. If Slayton's unable to go, who's going to play receiver? Neighbors, Robinson, Hyatt, and are we going to see Bryce Ford-Wheaton? Is Ihmir Smith-Marsette 7 days after signing with the New York Giants going to go out there and get some receiver reps? Gunner Olszewski's obviously not playing. This might be Jaylen Hyatt's chance to prove to Brian Daboll, Joe Schoen, and this organization that he's ready to play and that you need to put more food and more opportunities on his plate. Because in week 1, he didn't get much burn. He didn't get much tick. Just 16 snaps in week 1. After we want to be more explosive this year, we're going to give our fastest wide receiver just 16 snaps, and we're going to operate with 2 tight end sets. If Chris Manhertz is out snapping Jaylen Hyatt, you will never, ever, ever have an explosive offense. Dan Duggan, I thought, had a little bit of an inside scoop here. Shout out to Dan, covers the Giants for The Athletic. Give him a follow. It says Brian Daboll said Jaylen Hyatt didn't play much yesterday because he's the 3rd or 4th receiver. We never see Brian Daboll be that forward. He also saw Jaylen Hyatt leaving the locker room with his eye black still on his face after the game, so clearly got out of there in a hurry. I'm not mad that Jaylen Hyatt's mad that he's not playing. I love that. I want the hunger. I want the guy to be out there, and I want for him to want to be out there and be disappointed when he doesn't get those reps. All we heard all offseason long, Hyatt's putting in the work. Hyatt gained weight. Hyatt's more of a route runner. Well, if Darius Slayton's unable to play this week, you're going to get your chance. Make the most of it. And Daniel, just fucking throw the ball. We saw the Vikings throw the ball deep, and they got rewarded with a phantom defensive pass interference. If Hyatt is even, he is leaving. maybe we get a little week 2 run back of Giants-Cardinals last year where Jaylen Hyatt essentially won the game for the New York Giants with his big plays. The refs will give you the benefit of the doubt on defensive pass interference if it's underthrown, and we know Daniel Jones will do that. So if 13 is down the field, even if he's covered, just throw it. Maybe something good will happen. Other injury news, Carter Coughlin, who suffered a pectoral injury early on in that Minnesota game on Sunday, he is going to IR. And I do not know if this will be a situation where he returns this season because Brian Daboll said Carter Coughlin will be out months. Unfortunate for Carter Coughlin, man, someone I've always respected and admired on this team. He puts in the work. He finds a way to make the team. He does the grunt work. He is productive in special teams. So I'm hoping it's not worst case scenario, and I'm hoping he gets back. And also, the Giants, they are razor thin at that inside linebacker position. Micah McFadden didn't play yesterday, but he also wasn't on the injury report. So I don't know what's going on there. Daboll said he was on a pitch count. I guess the pitch count was 0, even though he didn't have an injury designation. You got just 3 inside linebackers on the team right now, and Bobby Okereke, Micah McFadden, and Darius Muasau. The rookie Muasau played a large majority of the reps at inside linebacker yesterday for Big Blue. 0 reps for Isaiah Simmons. I don't even know if he's a linebacker on this team anymore. Maybe you get to see him play with the continued injuries happening at that inside linebacker spot. Curtis Bolden is back on the practice squad for the New York Giants. They signed him to the active roster a day after 53-man cutdown day. I guess that was a week and a half ago. Then they released him and they brought him back. I think that will continue to happen. He's a guy that's going to go back and forth for the practice squad and the active roster, just some roster shuffling to make things work, and really gymnastics by Joe Shane to keep a guy that they like on this team. I think another move at the inside linebacker spot could be coming. We just showed you the depth chart. Just 3 guys are healthy, and one of them is McFadden, and he didn't even play, even though he wasn't on the injury report. I don't know what's going on, man. I cover this team. I follow them every day, and even I have questions that need to be answered. But a move could be coming, and the first place you will hear about it is over on my social media profiles. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. You would have heard about Ihmir Smith-Marsette signing with the Giants first, an hour ago, on my Twitter. So give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_.